So the next thing I want to do is to read in the wheel geometry that I've just clipped. So now I've got this wheel geometry, and we can see that it's not just the wheel, it's some other struts and some other components that are, if we take a look at it, there's some other stuff inside the wheel, and it's geometry that we don't need, so we might as well get rid of it at this stage. So we want to separate that out, but it's going to be quite tricky to separate it out using a clip function, because some of the geometry is inside the wheel and some of it's attached to the wheel. So we're going to use this filter that is generate surface normals, and so that's going to split out several components, and you can specify the feature angle here. I'm just going to leave it as 30, that's probably okay. So having done that, you won't see anything different, but you need to apply the connectivity filter, so that when you apply the connectivity filter, it still looks much the same, but if we put the key on and then rescale the range there, we can see that we've got 0 to 54 components, and then the threshold becomes available. So now we can separate out the parts of this wheel using the threshold function, but only after we've done splitting and the connectivity. So by applying a threshold and using this key, we can roughly see which components we want to keep. So straight away, I type in 50, rescale that, and we can see that this has been split out into several components. That part there, I might just save that as one part and just call it the external disk. So it's been separated by a threshold. Then I can extract that surface, save data, save it as STL, save it as external disk. Then using the same method, I just go back to the threshold and select different parts of the wheel, like the tyre part. Looks like it's at about 15 or 16, so tyre part there, that could be a separate component. There we are, so that is the tyre surface. So I want that as a separate item as well. So I'm just going to do save data and call that tyre. By that method, we can just go through geometry, saving the pieces that we want to keep and discarding the pieces we don't want to keep. And even though it's quite time consuming and a bit of a tedious process, it does seem to be pretty reliable and a foolproof method, which allows you to separate the geometry by an angle and then save individual pieces of geometry.